You're listening to the e-commerce edition of Hello Moxie with Nicole Donnelly. In each episode, we speak with leaders in the e-commerce industry on promoting diversity in the tech sector, the latest e-commerce trends, and how B2B brands can innovate through e-commerce. Hello Moxie is sponsored by DMG Digital, a woman-owned marketing consultancy dedicated to helping B2B companies create exceptional customer experiences.
Hello, we're back. I am here with Arron Moss. Arron, how are you?
Very good. Thank you very much for asking. A little bit elated from doing our talk a few moments ago.
It's always a great feeling when you're done, right?
Yeah.
Beforehand, it's always a little stressful. And then you get up there, and I don't know, I love the energy of being up there and on stage.
And it's processing the adrenaline and just kind of like, woo, what next? Just like, and then the rest of the day, more talks and some fun again.
Yeah, very good. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about you and your talk today, what you were talking about?
Okay, yeah. So we presented this time last year our first open source initiative project, which is an open source point of sale for Magento. It was inspired by Meet Magento 2023, in fact, and this amazing community and the collaboration and discussions with our peers and other tech companies and the rest of the community at events like this that really gave us the idea to produce a product that we would launch as an open source product. This year we relaunched it, version 2, based on discussions and great feedback we had after our talk in 2024, and we've just been so inspired to, with the energy at this event, to keep developing new products as the tech gets easier and more empowering to work with, and fantastic tech like Hoover, which I'm sure almost every person knows about and mentions. It feels like we're in a resurgence. That was I don't know if it was Jacob Winkler who wrote a LinkedIn article about and used the Renaissance term 6 months ago. Yeah, Magento is alive and back.
Magento is alive. Where did it go?
I think it just took a few years out and just took a little bit of respite as the community readjusted for a second phase, as the market and the customer demands changed and SaaS products came along, and
those SaaS products, right? They're taking such a hold in the States.
Yeah, and however, I think now there's maybe a bite back is the wrong term.
Boomerang, maybe, kind of.
There's the open source community now can understand that it can take the goodness and the success points from the SaaS model and actually roll them into this ecosystem anyway and get the best of both worlds.
Still have the flexibility.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
But with restraint and more considered decisions, not to over-optimize, not to over-customize the platform. So,
which is always the challenge, right?
Absolutely,
how much to customize versus how much do you want to close that and make it as simple as possible for people, right?
Ironically, we have more discussions now with prospects. I spoke to one 10 minutes ago. Said we have 80 extensions. First, we want less. We want to go through a simplification process to reduce and go back to basics to make the most out of the platform and make more considered decisions to customize when it matters and the customer will see the value.
Yeah, and I just have to say, I just love the Magento brand because there's such an ethos of collaboration and open-mindedness. It's like the open source way. It's like, if there's a way to do it better, let's all work together and figure it out. We're going to support each other and we're going to build. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing that will never die. Yeah. It will never die. There's always going to be a place for it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And it's important to have, like, let's be honest, we don't, like, wouldn't it be a terrible world if Shopify was just the only option out there? That'd be a very sad.
It would be very, very sad. And I would probably say that 50% of the discussions that I've personally had today with other agencies and providers is actually being about what they're going to do next with open source product development and just actually
getting more involved in that process.
Using their successes that we are currently seeing now in this resurgence of interest in the platform, doing their part to deliver additional open source products to broaden the market and the opportunities for merchants that want to consider Magento once again.
Very exciting. Would you like some tea?
I would love some tea.
Good. I love it. Here, pick your tea. And then while you're picking your tea and I pour your cup, I'd love to talk about, so on our podcast, we talk about women, and it's all about the women in history who've inspired them. So I'd love to learn if there's a woman in your life or someone who's inspired you that's a woman. You could share a little bit about her.
Okay, so
I'm putting you way on the spot, you know?
Well, yeah, it's a very easy answer. There is only one answer.
Oh.
So Lucy, my wife, who's just sat over there.
Oh my gosh, we got to have her over.
So she will be terrified. She's watching us probably now on the phone, thinking, "Oh my God, please don't come over." And so she probably want to stay in the background. However, in terms of inspiration for me as a person, and
Do you want some honey?
no, I'm all right.
That's
Thank
okay.
you very much.
Yeah.
And also, my wife has been in retail with her own business for almost 20 years, fashion retail.
On. That's so cool.
And she
Love that.
she sold that business last year. However,
What a baller.
we're in the process of relocating and moving to Orlando.
Really?
Yeah.
From where?
From Manchester in the UK.
Oh, that's a
Cold.
big move.
It's cold and grey. So we fell in love with Orlando and Florida
Yeah.
5 years
it's a
ago.
lovely place.
We bought a property.
Are you Disney
out here.
people?
We are, yes.
Yeah, right on. Who
It's,
doesn't love Disney, right?
It's respite and relaxation from a otherwise very
Hectic.
technical.
Yeah.
It's.
You need that Disney magic to break up the
Yeah.
challenges sometimes that can happen in e-commerce. It's moving so quickly.
It takes you away from the tech and
Yeah.
allows you to reflect sometimes, which is really, really important, and gives you family time. And you're really busy doing other things, in the parks.
Yeah.
But no, we've just fallen in love with the culture and the sun and everything that Orlando and Florida has to offer. So we're going through the process of the visa applications at the moment, and we got married 3 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh!
Been engaged for almost 20 years in order
Aaron,
to
I gotta give you a
facilitate-
hug for that. That's exciting. Congratulations. That's so cool.
and I was 50 yesterday.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Would you like a cookie?
I'm actually all right. Thank you very much.
All right. I have
so-
some chocolate too.
Yes, going back to the original question.
Yeah.
Lucy has been my cornerstone in support. She's here to support me with this event, which is something that we step out of our comfort zone as a dedicated development team. It's tough to get up on stage, but it's also very, very rewarding, and we get lots of support from everyone else here, and it's very encouraging. I'd encourage anyone to do it.
I agree.
You get so much out of it. It's so fulfilling, however terrifying in the build-up. Afterwards it's.
I completely agree. It's so worth it. So that's been my experience too. Like the first time I ever did a public speaking engagement, it was as a keynote speaker, which was like terrifying.
Yeah.
I had like 3 weeks to prepare my keynote. Oh my gosh, Aaron, I thought I was going to poop my pants. But anyway, it ended up being the most wonderful experience. And that's so much. I think that's the thing. When you do a speaking engagement, you meet so many people and you really get to connect with them in a different way.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it's just that connection and the energy that you get from the people. It's really special, the relationships that come from it.
And you learn a lot because you're
Yes.
looking outward at material and content and what other people in the industry are saying. We're learning about new terms in this industry when we're developing the point of sale system. We looked out into the retail industry and investigated the marketplace and the opportunities there as we combine these two traditionally independent retail channels, and we threw e-commerce and the point of sale experience together, and it was so exciting.
Very exciting, and such an important innovation.
We hope so. It's certainly very encouraging, the conversations we've had. So we will see. We will see what happens in the rest of 2025.
Yeah, well, it's lovely to hear about just how you and your wife support each other. It sounds like I can hear the wonderful admiration you have for her and her business and her selling her business, and how she just shows up for you in the same way.
Yeah.
What are some things you would advise to, and I think the Magento community in general is really good about supporting women and being allies to women. What would your advice be to other men about how they can be allies to women? What have you seen that's really been successful? What do you think that's already happening that's going well, and maybe areas for that to maybe improve?
That's a really tough question. I know there's the initiative that Marcia brings to this event, and the Meet Women, Women in E-commerce. I think we're young at heart as a business, and we don't see really any difference.
Love that.
You know,
but you don't think about it. Yeah.
No, I don't think. I mean, there are obviously efforts by businesses and organisations to ensure that there is the diversity, with cultures and so on. But we just see beyond that now. I think we almost don't bring the discussion up because we see that things are levelling out, in a sense. I think it's about the individual and the values that individual brings, and we just see through it as meaningful relationships with other individuals, really regardless of gender and race, and culture.
I love that. That's beautiful. Wonderful.
Tough question.
I know. I gave you a doozy there, and you were totally up for the challenge. So, okay. So I got it. Oh my gosh, we're live, and now I'm like, oh, what question am I going to ask Arron next? How do you like your tea? Is it
It's
good?
lovely, yeah.
Oh,
it really is lovely.
Oh, good.
I am a tea drinker, but I don't often traditional British tea.
Oh, okay. You're an Earl Grey.
Yes.
Or
the
what's
Tetley.
Oh, okay. All right. What do they call it? What do they call the tea that you have? Is it breakfast? Something? What's the British tea that you have? It's breakfast tea. It's not Earl Grey. It's something else. No, I'm totally stumped, Arron.
Mine is a complete blank, I think.
That's
today.
okay.
It'll come to me later.
It's like the end of a long. Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
It's been such a pleasure to meet you and connect with you. Congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you.
And all the work that you're doing. It's very exciting. So
thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the conference, and hopefully I'll see you at the pool. Maybe we'll see you dancing by the band.
And the water slide, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Cheers.
All right.
Thanks.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Hello Moxie E-commerce Edition. Thanks for joining us as we bring you the latest news in the e-commerce industry and celebrate diversity and innovation in the tech sector.